Hey, what's good? This video is called Top 10 Things You Should Never Say to an American. I have no idea where this video is going. I'm going to be working on some drawings for an animation. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes that I think would look good on you. Let's go. Looks like we're starting this video off with Wolf of Wall Street. That movie, boy, it was entertaining. But if it doesn't make you want to punch someone in the face for jacking you for all your dough, oh boy. Anyway, let's see 10 things you should never say to an American.
Seriously, how much money you make?
I told you, 70,000. Well, technically 72,000 last month. Something like that.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10
That
things
is
you
funny,
should
huh?
never say to an American.
We don't ever talk about how much money we make.
About 108, I think.
For this list, we'll be looking at statements and questions to avoid when
That's the
interacting with
other
US
one, how much you
citizens
weigh.
who could very well be shocked, disagreeable, or downright
Or
offended.
now that we're
if
here,
these are
what's
said.
your age?
Are
You
there
should
any
never
big
ask a woman
no-nos we missed? Sound
what
off in
her
the
age is
comments.
or how much she weighs.
Number 10. There's no such thing as American food.
Que say hamburger with a donut for a bun.
I never go with a donut.
It's no secret that fusion cuisine spans the U.S. The land of immigrants and diverse cultures has inevitably
high
been shaped by a
cholesterol.
wide range of traditions. But listen, Americans do in fact have a lot of their own regional cuisines. Cajun, Tex-Mex, Pennsylvania Dutch, and soul food, to name a few. Influences from other nations have certainly been Americanized, but Americans would argue that they do have their own distinct food staples.
Peanut butter burger is one of my favorites here.
You wouldn't think the peanut butter and the burger would go great together, but man, what a
It
combination
does.
it is.
I've had one of
Hamburger
those. It
generally
is really
considered
good.
The national dish in America, a favorite regularly enjoyed at fast food establishments and all-American BBQs. If you challenge an American on where the hamburger originated, be ready for a debate.
You're getting the volume of a burger, the flavor of the bacon, the whole top of that patty is just all that crispy, crunchy, unctuous flavor.
Guy
You know, the
Fieri.
inside is super
That
tender.
kid.
Number 9. College.
I literally bumped into him once at a NASCAR event. He's compared to me, he's a small dude, but he always seems to be pretty cool.
So expensive.
Just try. I'll go to some ridiculously expensive college and let you buy me a car.
There's no need to say this. Americans are well aware. Though many
Ugh.
agree that the cost of higher education is outrageously expensive, there's little they can do about it. It's a popular item
And
on
now it's
political
barely
agendas
even
that have
worth
long been
it.
advocated for. Mention of this in a conversation will likely just make an American angry about something they've already been annoyed with for decades. They've taken out massive student loans, paid the overpriced tuitions, and students have complained about it extensively amongst themselves.
I spent 200 grand on higher education and I still haven't figured it out.
200 grand? Your parents must be pissed.
Nope, all student loans.
They'd love to enjoy the affordability
They will be
that
pissed
exists in
when
Norway
you have to move
and
back in the
Sweden.
house.
So, unless that happens, don't remind them of how much they're paying.
Thanks for
Do
lying.
not.
You like lies? Here's a few. College is expensive, but it's worth it.
Number 8. That's not real football.
Did you know some historians think American football is based on an ancient Aztec game? It's not American football, it's just football.
The debate surrounding soccer versus football will likely rage on forever. If there's one thing Americans unitedly agree on, it's that football means throwing around a pigskin. They never refer to kicking a ball as football. That's soccer. Though soccer is a popular sport in America, it's generally not as beloved as it is by diehard Europe.
But if you talk to Europeans about the name football, they don't understand why we named American football football, because you barely kick the ball ever. Over there, you kick the ball all the time. So, I mean, to me, that makes sense.
Football fans.
No, I have never coached the sport that you folks call football.
Ted Lasso, if you haven't seen a really good, just good-hearted show, this is it. It's really good, really funny, safe.
Level. Jesus. And heck, you could fill 2 internets with what I don't know about football.
American football is the nation's favorite.
That's a lot.
Citizens are quite passionate about their teams. Americans will probably laugh at you if you try to compare the same named sports, and they won't be happy if you question their hardcore fandom. American football is rooted in the culture, so minimizing its significance won't be received well.
Yeah, but relax. We love football, but like relax.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Number 7, do I have to...
What was that? Friday Night Lights, I believe, the show. It's so good. If you get a minute, binge watch it. It's really good.
Come on, throw in a buck.
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe
Tipping,
it.
no
This
lie.
question will always be answered
I understand you guys need tips to survive and stuff like that, but boy, you walk into 20% now, and you're just like, what? I got rent too, bro.
Sounding yes. You absolutely must tip at pretty much any establishment where a service is being provided.
Anytime someone
Unlike
does something
European
for you, you
countries,
need to
tipping
tip
is
for the
habitual
most
standard
part.
practice in the U.S. Failure to do so will be met with shock from employees and glares from Americans you might be dining with.
Let me just get this straight. You don't ever tip, huh?
I don't tip because society says I have to. All right, I mean, I'll tip if somebody really deserves a tip. If they really put forth the effort, I'll give them something extra. But I mean, this tipping automatically, it's for the birds.
These workers are already underpaid as it is, so many not only expect tips, but rely on them as part of their income. Unless you want to look cheap or rude in public, avoid this question at all costs and be prepared to engage in this customary show of respect.
You don't care they'd counting on your tips to live? You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin playing just for the waitresses.
Number 6. How much
Reservoir Dogs. If you want to be entertained for right around 2 hours, Reservoir Dogs. So good. Such a good movie.
Jeff, if he'll give you his weight.
You're not going to give me your weight? She doesn't even know how much I weigh.
Asking this will likely get you scolded or condemned.
This is that show, Curb Your Enthusiasm. They have a lot of really good content on this video. Curb Your Enthusiasm, hilarious. Some people are going to be like, the comedy's stupid. No, you're stupid. It's a really good show.
While commenting on someone's weight is not as offensive overseas, it's a rather touchy subject in the U.S. In addition to the number on the scale being regarded as personal knowledge, different and diverse beauty standards exist in America.
But are you still losing? Wait, are you still losing weight?
Are we on a first date? This
Just curious.
Am I? Well, I don't know. I guess it depends.
Or are you?
Movements to accept and embrace body diversity are prevalent, so refraining from discussing weight has become a way to not offend anyone, regardless of whether you think them too small or too large. Inquiring about this sensitive matter is a surefire way to piss off an American, so it's best to keep rudely perceived questions and comments to yourself.
I'd rather be dead in the Sea of Cortez than have you know what I weigh.
I don't want your weights. The captain wants them. Who's going to disobey a captain?
Number 5. Americans are overly patriotic.
Good morning, USA.
Some of us are. Some of us got to chill, bro. I mean, I like to consider myself a proud American, but I don't let it define who I am as an overall fucking person. I was born in America. Yes, I'm an American. I'm a veteran. I've done all the things. I've paid for high-priced college. All the things. I've had peanut butter hamburgers. I've done all the things. But I don't need to be wearing American flags all the time, everywhere. Especially like if I'm visiting a different country. Like I've seen some Americans that just go a little too hard. They go a little too hard in the paint with the old red, white, and blue.
That it's gonna be a wonderful day.
The flag, the national anthem, the 4th of July, soaring eagles, all encompass and symbolize American patriotism and deep-rooted values of a free collective identity. Symbols might be just that in other countries, but Americans take their meaning and significance especially seriously.
Hell yeah.
Since winning the Revolutionary
been
War,
there.
many citizens have maintained a strong sense of nationality, even through cultural movements and attempts to drive social change. As such, it's safer to avoid criticisms of patriotic displays that might appear to be over the top, even if some Americans secretly agree with you. It's essentially a lose-lose, where you could either offend somebody who doesn't care or offend someone who does.
And should we win the day,
Either way, someone's going to be offended.
Will no longer be known as an American holiday.
And then we point at each other, talk about how the other side is offended, and how you can't say anything, but you're supposed to say everything. You're supposed to, but that everyone gets upset and blah blah blah. I say, just say what you got to say. You're gonna upset anyone anyway. Just go ahead and say it. But what's the saying? Don't write a check your ass can't cash. Don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash. There you go.
4. How much money do you make?
Understand how much money you make.
How much money you make?
I don't know, 70,000 last month.
In the U.S., money is kind of taboo, especially in discussions around citizen salaries. This is something that's more openly talked about elsewhere, whereas Americans are more tight-lipped on the matter. Similarly to inquiring about someone's weight, income is understood to be personal.
I get $50,000 a hit. How much do you make?
I just get to keep whatever's in the guy's wallet.
It's sort of an unspoken rule of etiquette amongst the population that everyone's intimate financial details are only theirs to know, and others should respect that. Some employers even have implied or written pay secrecy policies in place, which discourage talk of employee pay. With this understanding ingrained in the minds of Americans, one would benefit from limiting work conversations to careers, excluding salaries.
You took a cab?
Yeah? So?
What are you, rich?
I'm telling you. No.
Number 3. Your measurement system is crazy.
I mean, America, you guys have your own thing, the imperial system, you know? On my side of the world, we use the metric system, and by my side, I mean the rest of the world.
Though it's used by pretty much the rest of the world, the metric system isn't used by Americans. So talk
You know
of
what I mean.
kilometers or anything of that sort will probably be met with blank stares. The U.S.
You know what's funny is I've been using Blender, and Blender uses meters for modeling and animating and stuff like that. I legit was gonna research to see how to change it to foot and inches, but I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see.
More complex and confusing imperial system that is unique to the nation.
Can you explain to me?
Yes.
How the country that can send men and hopefully women to the moon,
Yeah, all and beyond.
still are in gallons and inches.
Many Americans would likely admit that the metric system is superior in terms of efficiency, but its adoption is unlikely in the U.S. With that said,
'Cause we're hard-headed.
better off trying to conceptualize measurements with a...
I was around in the 70s when they tried to change it to metrics, and everyone lost their minds. Everyone lost their minds. We're literally the only people who use that. I could get into it, but yeah, the metric system is more scientific. The imperial is like based off of like grains of oat and like America.
by reverting to descriptions that they would understand. It's about 3 football fields long would certainly get your point across.
So one of the great things about Americans is we won't change no matter how good it would be for us.
Number 2, capitalism sucks.
Capitalism is the only way, Leslie. It moves our country forward.
The
it's
way
what
we
makes
do
America
it really
great,
does suck.
and England okay, and France terrible.
Capitalism is a founding principle of American culture that has evolved into an ideology. It is the system that dominates both major political parties, as free markets and privatization are solid fixtures in American society. Regardless of whether an American is pro or anti-capitalist, the economic subject is touchy and shouldn't be casually introduced in conversation.
You're going to be convinced of that till next month when you get to James Lemon. Then you're going to be talking about how the economy
Good Will Hunting, great movie.
And capitalist way back in 1740.
Doing so will most likely spark a heated debate that brings the idea of
I love that scene.
contentious socialism.
He gets all brainiac on him, and then
Americans
he's
of
like, "But if
varying
you want to
ages
take it to
have
the
strong
streets,
feelings
son."
about the economic system
Hey,
on
hey,
both
hey!
ends of the spectrum.
Don't be throwing
So
away
steering
that
clear of it
lobster.
altogether is your best bet.
Hey, fellas! Look what I found in my pocket! Look!
Oh,
a
wow.
year's salary right here! What I call them? Fun coupons!
Number 1, America isn't the greatest country on earth.
Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
There's that long-standing idea that America is the promised.
This one's tough. Hang on. Let me catch my breath. Because there's a lot of people that be talking shit about America, boy. I do too. I think we are the greatest. We haven't lived up to our fullest potential because of greed and racism and just stupid shit like that. But the potential is there. What we're supposed to be gives us the potential to be. But since everyone looks at us and everyone wants to come here, and people are killing themselves, literally killing themselves to come here, you know, like, and fair warning, you come here, man. If you come here, you're going to be on your own for a minute. You're going to be on your own. So there's not going to be any cool hotel rooms. There's not going to be any sandwiches. Kids, we don't even feed our kids before they go to school anymore. We need to put up a sign, one of those neon signs that says, you know, come back later. We're remodeling or something. This is going to be tough. Let's go.
The greatest nation. Nowadays, some might disagree, but it's safer to just avoid saying this. Considering the reputation America's gained, it's no surprise that citizens have tendencies to get defensive when its superiority is questioned, or, on the other hand, passionately criticize it.
Do you believe the United States is the greatest country in the world?
Yes.
A popular insult thrown around when people go against the idea is the common, "Go back to your country if you don't like it," which no one wants to hear. You don't have to say America is the greatest, but never express alternative opinions unless you're up for potential confrontation. If you say it, you could also hear something like this.
First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that last comment. I don't know. Like I said, there's people literally killing themselves trying to get here. Just because we don't see eye to eye all the time, don't mean that we're not the greatest. There's might be some people out there that are doing it better, but I don't know who they are. I know there's a lot of folks that have leveraged different versions of government to make it seem like. So, for example, like the Nordic countries, about the socialist approach, there's a lot of people that always look to them as the example, but just the sheer magnitude of what is the United States. So, for example, if California was its own country, we'd be able to do it just like them. Right? We'd have the socialized medicine, and we'd have going to school for cheap, if not free, and all those things that they talk about out there. But now we have to, we meaning the bigger, more profitable states, have to look out for the ones that aren't quite so profitable. You know what I mean? So we, the bigger states, the more money-making states, have to basically sponsor the smaller states so they stay competitive. And that's something that, say, Sweden doesn't have to do. Sweden makes money, Sweden collects money, Sweden takes care of Sweden. It's not like Illinois is only taking care of Illinois and California is only taking care of California. That's not the case. We should, as a nation, be operating more as kind of like the NFL, which is, we're kind of there, but not really. We need to, well, actually, our money gets choked up and no one makes money. And then the greedy people go in and take their money and blah, 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 blah. But all that to say, we're still the greatest country in the world because of our unique relationship that we have with each other as far as states go. You know, if we can start getting back to American pride, and we take pride in our education and the fact that we're taking care of each other and the fact that we have a strong military and the fact that our population is educated enough to qualify for jobs or at least start their own market so they don't have to worry about all these greedy corporations that are giving our jobs away. But anyway, all that to say, America, to me, America's the greatest because you have all the potential to be the best version of yourself. I'm not 100% sure what other country out there can promise that. I do wish that we would take better care of our citizens. That's the only thing. Once we get that part figured out, everything else is going to wash out in the laundry. You know, we have to educate our population and change the culture, instead of, you know, being like the loud, brash, chest beating gorillas. We can take that same person and educate them so they know exactly how to use their muscles, and then that person would then the culture would be that person would then help other people. And then again, the other people would then go and help the big person in the ways that they're deficient. That's just how we're going to get through this. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with each and every one of your friends. And if you want to come hang out with me, watch videos while I work on creative projects, hit that subscribe button and then change the bell button to it saying all. So that way, every time I come out with something new, you'll be alerted. Don't forget to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some dope gear. And with that, I'm out.
Coconut Justice.